Our next speaker and the final report is Mr. Xu, the head of corporate affairs and market access at Roche Diagnostics in Shanghai. He leads the company's strategic partnerships, corporate influence, macro and industry policies, government affairs, corporate social responsibility, market access, and health economics research. Prior to coming to Roche, he worked for the Chinese Ministry of Health, Plan International, Powell Trade, and P&G. Mr. Xu will speak to us about Roche Diagnostics in China's new development pattern. Over to you, Mr. Xu.
Okay, and thanks for the Carolyn's introduction. It's my great pleasure to give you the speech on Roche Diagnostics doing business in China, especially and in China's new development stage. Hopefully, it could help while understanding and responding to the opportunity and the challenge for international IVD business in China. Okay, firstly, I want to give you a short introduction about Roche. I think maybe you all will know about our company. The Roche Group is a global pioneer in pharmaceutical and diagnostic focus on advancing science to improve the people's life, established and in 1969 and headquartered in Switzerland. We are among the first in healthcare to focus on the personalized healthcare starting in 2006 by focusing on solely on innovation and prescription and medicine and diagnostic. Today, we have a portfolio that track the full cycle of the healthcare and under one roof: prevention, diagnostic, treatment, and monitoring of the disease. The most noteworthy is our R&D investment. We belong to the top 10 investors in R&D across the industry and the number one in healthcare. And with up to the 14 billion Swiss finance R&D investment and in 2021. And meanwhile, I want to give you an introduction of the history and when we go into the China market. And Roche's first business presence and in China can be dated back to the 1926. And when Roche had his product first and even sold in Chinese market. And since the 1990s, when Roche returned to the mainland market, the companies keep localizing its industry chain. And so far, and both diagnostic and pharmaceutical division has deployed the whole business chain in China, including R&D, manufacturing, and localization and logistic, sales, and the post-sales services. And Roche Di China was established in the 2000 in Shanghai. When the growth business and companies scale, and Roche Di China has become one of the IVD's market and leaders in China. And Roche Local's manufacturing based in Suzhou was put into operation and in 2018 and supplied for both domestic and international market. China is a policy-guided market, so it's necessary to understand the policy environment of China and in the new stage of its economic development. In recent years, China is establishing a new development pattern and which domestic economic circulation as the mainstay and domestic and international circulation reinforcing each other, which is called dual economic circulation. In brief, the domestic circulation calls for a unified and domestic market ensuring and market-oriented economic rules, facilitating the operation of all market players in China. On the other hand, this is also China's endeavor to build self-independence regarding key intelligence areas and industry against the current international relation backdrop. And this is why China started to consider demands stabilities and national securities when pursuing economic and social development, and which might restrict to the development space of a foreign company and in China. Fortunately, we will see China's commitment to the open-up policy and for being in international circulation and benefiting and from the globalization. In the context of the high levels open-up goals, and China expected foreign companies to contribute to its domestic circulation, not only contribute to economic growth, employment, and foreign trade and economic relation, but also empowers local economic and industry to retain and attract foreign investment, as well as to resume MNC in China. The government has taken the concrete action to implement the high levels of open-up policy. The most noteworthy is the establishment of the special zone for trials on market systems reform, policy innovation, and trade facilitation, and traffic reduction to once the reform and open-up policies provide to be workable in this area, they would be applied nationwide. All of these three regions are supposed and to be more open and to the international business. And as for the policy environment of the healthcare sector in China, we can see a few top-level designed policies initiative forming the new policy orientation. This not only encourages the international cooperation and MNC's participation through high levels open up, but also focus on the innovation, digitalization, quality healthcare services, which are also in line with MNC's development strategy. In the regard, we can see opportunities for the multi-wing development and in Chinese market. A little bit and more word on the market opportunities, and just like you can see and in screening, the diagram on the left indicators is the growing the IVD's market in China. In 2020, the market size of the Chinese IVD industry is close to the 19 billion Chinese yuan, and with a component annual growth rate of up to almost 20% in the past 5 years. According to the preliminary statistic from some research institution, the size of the China IVD's market may exceed 100 billion Chinese yuan in 2021, with the year-on-year increasing of up to 20%. We anticipate the China IVD market will continue to expand due to the increasing healthcare demand, and which call for more IVD services to disease risk prediction, health management, chronic disease management, and it is expected that IVD market will continue to maintain a high growth rate in the next 3 years. We also see the increasing attention of the Chinese government to innovation and R&D. Amplified not only by the increasing total R&D expenditure in the past years, but also by the target of the growth rate for the next 5 years. And these indicators, the policy support to the R&D and innovation capabilities stressed, which is believed to offer more market opportunity. And let's move to see and how Roche has evolved its approach to enhance business presence and in line with China policy's orientation, and become the leading players in China healthcare international cooperation. We started from what makes who we are, providing advanced IVD technology, production and solution to Chinese patients, and keep contributing to the improvement of the healthcare services. We also align our business development needs with Chinese strategic goals of the upgrading the healthcare industry and have the localized R&D and manufacturing and other key value and the operation in China, which has driven China IVD market and industry. And in the current new stage, China encouraging the local business to expand presence on both domestic and international market, and dividing the advancement of the sector. And therefore, we start to employ a partnership with outstanding local companies, which we achieve more in the local market. The Chinese partner at the same time get well acquainted and with the international standard and market rules and concept. In current the context of the policies environment and market landscape, what we aim to do is to enhance the trust with the Chinese government. On the one hand, to leverage multi-level dialogue between the policymaker and the business and community to build a trusted partner and with the government. On the other hand, it's necessary to take the concrete action to enable the companies to be recognized as a good corporate citizen to the society. We also build our influence in policy shaping. We leverage various channels to deliver our voice, including the Global CEO Council, China Development Forum, China International Important Expo, as well as International Business Leader Advisory Council in Shanghai. At the Roche Group, this chairman and CEO and other senior leader and representative to present in-depth dialogue with Chinese leaders and policymakers, shared advice for their decision makers. In addition to this high-level engagement, we maintain regular contact with all levels of government for policies communication. And as just mentioned, and digitalization is currently one of the focus in China healthcare policy orientation. In this context, the medical institutions are pursuing digital transformation. Roche is also devoted to the digital innovation, which is an important part of the company's long-term strategy in China. In 2020, RDS, Roche Diagnostics China established a department focusing on digital innovation and providing digitalized innovation integrated solution to the Chinese medical institution. Based on this need, we have launched several digitalized solutions, integrating the instrument and the consulting services management software, which aims to help the medicine lives optimize the opportunity they perform to maximize and resource utilization, empower the clinic decision-making, and improving the diagnostic and treatment through the patient journey. And you can see, and Roche has presence in every part of the entire medical industry chain. That makes our relationship with China medical industries as a symbol instead of the simple competitor. In recent years, Roche Diagnostics has been seeking for the partnership and with local companies in various areas, including raw materials supply, technical exchange, joint R&D production, and channel development, digital innovation cooperation. Through this partnership, we benefit each other. And here, give you just two examples of how we work with a partnership. We partner with the local third-party medical testing lab named TopGene and jointly initiated an NGS Innovation Center project in Chongqing. This innovation center is empowered by Roche advanced instrument, which could change the way of the traditional NGS lab operation. This project not only introduces the automation, the standardized, and intelligence of the whole sequencing process to the local NGS lab, just like the top gene, but also facilitate Chongqing's biopharma's industry cluster development. And our partnership with Diagnostic and represent another model of the local cooperation story. This is an example that Roche joined hand with local partners to march towards the market enhance expected launch of the local innovation. Diagnostic is a local SME and which assemble and manufactures IVD's instrument. Roche Di and the Diagnostic jointly developed a new model and license series and customize for the low-tiers healthcare market. And the low-tiers hospital usually and prioritize the cost-effectiveness issue. This jointly development production has integrated both domestic and international advanced technology and resource and provide an efficient, flexible, and economic solution, extending the supply of the quality medicine resource to the low-tier market. This is also what Chinese government expected to see. We have been thinking of how Roche could sustain the business in China's new stage. According to our success practice, the solution might to be get integrated into the domestic circulation and support the formulation of the new development pattern. So we redefine our roles in line with what MNC are expected to do. Briefly speak, and we need to facilitate the connection of the local industries with the global market and empower the development of the local business. In summary, at the current stage, it's good to be the partner to China's new development pattern when doing business in China. China benefits from the globalization. That's why China advocated for a high level of the open up. This opportunity in the Chinese market can come along with a clear understanding what Chinese want and agile adjustment of the production position and solution. This is also provide a way to dealing with the issue we may encounter here. And in this regard, it's necessary for companies to align the business strategy with China's development pattern to obtain more dividend and from the Chinese market. So I will stop here and thanks for your attention. Thanks.
Wow, thank you very much. Again, another very dense, very informative presentation. I was very interested in your joint collaboration with Diagnostics. Very interesting. So thank you very much.